Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss the tuples in Python. Tuples basically work exactly like a list. A tuple contains a sequence of items of many types. The elements of tuples are fixed. Once a tuple has been created, we cannot add or delete the elements, or even we cannot shuffle their order. Hence, tuples are immutable. You can't modify once the tuple is created. Since the tuples are immutable, their length is also fixed. A new tuple can be created to grow or shrink the earlier one tuple. So first we'll discuss how to create a tuple in Python. So to create a tuple in Python, we are going to use a parenthesis instead of a square bracket. So this will create a empty tuple. You can see a T1 empty tuple is created. Now suppose I want to create a tuple with 4 elements. So I'm going to use this parenthesis, and then I'm specifying 20, 30, 40, 90, and have T1. You can see a tuple T1 is created with 4 elements. So tuple of characters, let me display T1. You can see now my T1 is holding a tuple of 4 characters. Even if I want to assign a single element to a tuple, then we need to write like this: T1 is equals to empty parenthesis, then specify the element and comma. Remember, a single value in a parenthesis without comma is not a tuple. So if I run this, so you can see T1 is holding a element 2. So if I want to check whether this T1 type is tuple or not, I'm going to use a type function, type of T1. You can see it has displayed as a tuple. Now suppose if I write like this, T1 is equals to empty parenthesis, I'm just writing 3. And now I want to check whether it is of tuple or not. So type of T1, alter enter. So you can see in this case I have got the output as a int. That means a single value in a parenthesis is not a tuple. So if you want to specify a single value for a tuple, you have to use a comma. Again, another way to create a tuple using a tuple function. If I am write T1 equals to tuple, so this will create a T1 empty tuple. Now let's create a tuple using tuple function with string as the argument. So suppose I have one T1 equals to, I'm going to use a tuple function here. Then to this tuple function, I'll pass a string Python. Let's display T1. So this will create a tuple with all the characters of a string. Now let us discuss the different functions on tuples. So the first function we have available is the length function. If I want to find out the length of the tuple, like how many elements are present in my tuple, then we can use this length function. Suppose I have one tuple T equals to holding elements 10, comma 20, comma 15, comma 40, comma 35. These are the 5 elements. Now I want to find the length. So I'm going to write length of t. So this will give you the number of elements present in the list. Another function we have is the max function. So if you want to find out the maximum or the largest element available in the tuple, then we can use this max function. So we can write max and then the name of the tuple. You can see the max element is 40. Similarly, if you want to find the smallest element from the tuple, we can use the mean function. So mean of tuple, you can see the minimum element present is 10. Again, suppose we want to find the sum of tuples element, then we can use the sum function. We can write sum of tuple. You can see all the elements are added together and the sum is returned, that is 120. Again, if I want to find out the index location of a particular element of the tuple, then we can use the index function. So you need to write t dot index function and then in bracket just specify the element whose index you want to find. Suppose I want to find the index of element 15. So you can see it has written the value as a 2. Another one is the count function. If I want to count the occurrences of a particular element in the tuple, then we can use this count function. So we have to write the tuple name dot count and the element which you want to count. So you can see the element 10 is present in my tuple as 1. Another operations that we can perform on tuple is the indexing and slicing. So indexing and slicing are quite similar to your list. So suppose I have one tuple which is holding elements 20, 30, 40, 50, 15, 10. So my tuple is now holding 6 elements. Now I want to access the element from one index to third index. So I'm going to write t in square bracket, just specify the start position. So my start position is 1 colon end position is 4 enter. So you can see 30, 40, 50 is this. So this is how we can perform the slicing operation. Along with this, we can use step size also. Suppose I want to access the every second element from my tuple list, from my tuple. So I'm going to write t of 0 colon length of tuple and then every second element. So I'm specifying the step size as a 2. You can see every second element is accessed, that is 20, 14 and 15. Even we can have the negative indexing also. So suppose I wanted to access the last element, I'm going to write t of -1. So this will give you the last element available in my tuple. If I write t of 3, that means I'm accessing the fourth element present in my tuple, that is the 50. So this is how we can perform indexing and slicing operation on tuple. Another operation we can have is list and tuples. Sometimes we can convert a list to a tuple, as well as we can convert a tuple to a list. So how we can do that? So suppose I have one list L1 which is holding elements 10, 20, 30, 40. Now I want to create a tuple from this existing list L1. Let me display this. You can see now my list is holding these 4 elements. I want to create a tuple from this list. So I'm going to write T equals to tuple of L1 and then print this T. You can see now my tuple is created from the existing list L1. Sometimes we need to perform sorting operation. Now this is my tuple 10, 20, 30, 40. I want to sort this. So we can't directly apply sort operation on this tuple because my tuples are immutable. So what we can do, we will convert this tuple to a list and then we can apply the sort function. So how we can do that? So let's have a list L2 equals to, now I'm going to use a list function, and to the list function I will pass a T, and this will create a list L2. So now my list is created, and now I will apply a sort function to this list. So L2 dot sort and print L2. You can see now my list is sorted. So in this way, we can perform the operations using list and tuples. I hope you have understood all these things. Thank you. Thank you for watching.